Thank you everyone for having me on this panel. Thank you, Arturo. That was really great. Thank you. I'm gonna kind of circle back and talk similarly to what Susan has shared about the Caribbean side of Nicaragua. And yeah, I'm just gonna say prior to coming to Nicaragua, I had heard very little about the Caribbean side and the history of the peoples who live in the Caribbean. So being able to go there with the Friends of the ATC and learn about the rich diversity and cultural history, political history of the peoples in the Caribbean, um, who are primarily indigenous or of Afro descent, was incredible. And I think two experiences that really stood out for me um, in this was our visit to Ramaki and our visit to Orinoco. And Ramaki is an indigenous community that's part of the Rama territory in the Southern Autonomous Region of Nicaragua. It's the Rama territory encompasses a vast tract of land with around 9 communities, 9 different municipalities that have their own communal governments. But we visited one of those, the Ramaki Island, which is off the coast of Bluefields. And there we got to see what this idea of autonomy, what it looks like in practice. And as Susan mentioned, autonomy is a legal concept that was developed after the revolution that allowed trying to attempt to have national egalitarian development that would address these legacies of colonialism and discrimination on the Caribbean side of the country. And with Ramaki, what that looks like today in practice is there are various public institutions that are run by Rama peoples in collaboration with different various levels of government that collaborate to the national, to regional, to communal level governments. And through this effort, the Rama peoples are able to benefit from the development, from the egalitarian development model that was created after the revolution. And through this, we see that the Rama people now have hospitals that serve Ramaki Island residents and are run by Ramaki people. They have public education that's run by Rama peoples for the purpose of educating Rama peoples. And they have different public institutions like justice systems and medical offices and things like that that help develop a population and help ensure that the population can go forward. And I think one particular point that was something that stuck with me was how the Rama peoples are using their educational system to promote Rama culture and preserve their language and culture. Something that was only possible through the Sandinista revolution, through the creation of the autonomy law. And through this, you see how the socialist development model is actively working to overcome these contradictions of discrimination and racism within the national history of Nicaragua to put forward a new chapter of its history, a future where multiple different peoples can exist within the country of Nicaragua to build a more egalitarian and socialist society. And similarly, when we visit Orinoco, which is an Afro-descendant Garifuna community, also on the coast, we saw how the autonomy law and the practice of autonomy has benefited the masses of the Garifuna peoples in Nicaragua, and that they have control over the various public institutions like schools, medical centers, law centers, things like that. And how I think one fact that was striking was that in Orinoco, a community that's existed for, I think, over 100 years, if I remember correctly, only began to see formal public education in 1967. And at that time, the public education was being administered by missionaries. But after the autonomy law, after the revolution, there began to be the creation of public educational systems in Orinoco and these Garifuna communities, as well as the greater uh, Caribbean coast communities. And through this, the Garifuna peoples have been able to produce students who go on to be the doctors, who go on to be the lawyers, who go on to be the judges, who go on to be the police, who go on to be the university professors, who all work towards building a nation and a Caribbean community that is integrated and is able to work towards this common goal of building an equal and socialist society. And I think that was something that was very striking, was being in the Caribbean coast, we see how everyone is able to practice their culture and feel proud of their national cultural heritage, while at the same time feeling like this is something that makes them more Nicaragüense. This is something that contributes to the Nicaraguan national culture, national history. And this is something that they feel will make the country go forward. Whereas thinking about the US, we see that our own history of colonization, a lot of people feel like these issues can't be addressed through the government. Like our current realm, our current political possibilities, we know that are totally exclude any ideas of like egalitarianism or thinking about building an anti-racist future. And that, that's something Arturo mentioned is, it's our job to be able to build those horizons past what seems currently possible. But in Nicaragua, these communities, the Garifuna communities, the indigenous communities, understand that this revolution has happened and it's them carrying out the revolution every day, and that they work with the national government and with their local governments to ensure that the people keep developing, that they keep going forward. Whether it's a new solar panel system that provides 24-hour electricity in the community of Orinoco, or new roads, or a language program that allows them to practice their language and keep it. It's all part of this project to ensure that Nicaragua is an intercultural and egalitarian society. And I think to touch on why this is relevant, I think, in this world right now, we're seeing like a large, especially in the Western countries, a large push towards reactionary to fascism, to racist, holding on to racist ideals, to anti-immigrant politics. And I think Nicaragua offers a model that is socialist, but is also a model that is working towards addressing these contradictions that have existed over hundreds of years of colonialism. And I think this is something that we need to look for, like we need to learn about, we need to hear about, we need to visit, because it offers such an inspiration for us in the US, but also in other countries as we try to make our own societies more egalitarian, as we try to address these issues of racism and discrimination.